Hi Aquarius. So let's do a 4-layered spread to try to capture as much of your energy as we can. I have 2 tarot decks and 2 oracle decks that we will use. So we're starting with the Fool, the Emperor, Ace of Pentacles, the Empress, 2 of Pentacles, 8 of Cups, the World, King of Pentacles, the Hermit, 10 of Cups. Underneath this deck is the Tower. So then we'll take 6 of these tarot cards next for you, Aquarius. So we have Page of Wands, Temperance, 5 of Swords, the Fool again, 2 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles. Oh, this is the 2 of Pentacles we have again. Then we have Judgment underneath this deck. So big, major arcana here. So then we'll have 6 of these for our 3rd layer. So we have Ideation, Peace, Flow, Fear, Success, Anxiety. Under this deck, we have Sweetness. And then finally, we're going to take 2 of these big picture oracle cards, and we're really going to get into this for you, Aquarius. So there's the Rose and the Mouse, and under this deck, that's you, Aquarius. That represents you. So you are having a massive wake-up call when it comes to something. Someone, I think it's a someone, because I saw a King of Pentacles in your environment, but we are going to get there. But I feel like someone has really pulled the rug out from underneath you, Aquarius, and now it's leaving you in this major aha moment. I think it's actually helping you see your own purity of your soul. It's helping you see your own value. It's helping you protect and honor your own energy. It's helping you to see the things that you have worked hard for and that you want to protect that. So those are just all the messages I'm getting from the surface energy, but I do feel like something massive changed when it comes to someone who's in your environment, and it really opened your eyes. But that opening of your eyes helped you to see yourself more clearly and your own self-value. So you're showing up as the Fool and the Page of Wands. So you are ready for something new. You are so ready for a new adventure. You are ready to find your talent or chase your dreams, or what it feels to me is you want to get away from feeling resentment from someone. So this is also a combination of forgiving someone or releasing something or putting yourself in an energy of serenity because you don't want to feel angry at whoever did this to you. So you're in a good mind space at the current moment. I think that sometime in your past, you have learned to go with the flow, because I see this flow card here. I think that in your past, you started to expand energetically, but we'll get to that. So, but in your near future, you have the 8 of Cups and the Fool again. So this is how I know that you are ready for this new adventure. The 8 of Cups energy is one of, I can't stay here anymore. You might not necessarily know where you're going. The person in the 8 of Cups rarely knows where they're going. The Fool never knows where they're going, and you showed up twice as the Fool, and the Page of Wands doesn't really either. So all of these messages are sort of telling me that you have no clue where you're going. You just can't stay here anymore with whatever this environment is that really opened your eyes, and you see it now. It's like you can't unsee this person for who they are. So there's something here in the energy where there was a backstabbing or some kind of a deception, at least some kind of attack, something like that, because we don't see the Tower and Judgment unless it was something really big. But you're releasing that. The Fool carries none of the baggage from the past. So this is how I know that you're in a good place right now, Aquarius, as far as you. You see the purity of your soul and you're ready to move on without having to carry any resentments of this person with you. So In your trigger position, we have Emperor and Ideation. So there may be a little bit of you that requires a little more discipline in a certain situation. And maybe if you feel like you're backsliding back into wanting to be with this person because you don't know where you're going, this is just kind of saying be careful about the way that you think about this person or who you have told yourself who this person is. So it feels like there's a version of this person that you have told yourself and the version of the person who actually showed up and shocked you. And so I feel like that's the trigger, is maybe a lack of discipline on your part, where you might be idealizing this person too much and you might backslide back into their energy. So that being in your trigger position is just kind of a cautionary message for you to don't get swept up in this person's energy again. They already showed you who they are. We have the Tower and Judgment together. This person showed you who they are. But you see yourself as the world and fear. So it's backing up these other messages that we already said, that you have completed the cycle with this person. You have learned everything you need to know about this person with the world. You have seen everything you need to see about this person. You're starting to get the discipline to walk away from this person. You're letting it go, but yet there's also this element of fear. You see yourself as still being fearful about, okay, but what's next? Yes, I know I graduated from this particular karmic lesson. I've untied this karmic spaghetti, but we have all these repeating messages of you have no idea where you're going. And I think that's the fear, which is why you're maybe need more discipline to keep pushing through it. Because when the fear comes in, you might slip back and say, well, hold on, maybe I am just going to stay with this person because it's what I know. But this is just saying that you're seeing yourself pretty clearly, that you know you're meant to move on, but you know you're afraid of the unknown because you have no idea what's ahead of you. When that fool jumps off the cliff, they have no idea where they're going to land. So then we have Ace of Pentacles, Temperance, Peace, and the Rose. This is your soul. This is your soul saying, if you just jump and don't let the fear take over. This is acknowledging that it is scary. You're fearful. You have fear. This wouldn't show up if you didn't. But this is saying it might be scary to let this person go, release it forever. But the opportunities, the peace, temperance and peace are both about peace and finding peace and inner balance. And the rose is about, the rose is basically the same thing that the Ace of Pentacles is, because this is a tangible gift from the universe. So your higher self is getting ready to show you what the new opportunity is, what the tangible gifts are. Every time we complete a cycle, we really want to see an ace, and there is one. Your soul is saying there is something. Push through this last push of releasing this person, because your new opportunity will pop up miraculously, and that's the thing that will bring you that inner peace and that inner balance. So it does feel like if you feel like things are out of control right now, which they probably are because we're seeing a tower, this is just an upward trend. This is you, your soul is trying to promote you to the next level, but it requires you facing your fear. You have to walk through this door, even though see how dark it is in that door, you have no idea where you're going. That's what you're being asked to do. Walk through it anyway, because that's when you're going to be rewarded. That's when the opportunities are going to be right there, and it's going to feel miraculous. So in your environment, this makes perfect sense to me too. We have the King of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, Success, and the Mouse. So this is a person who probably doesn't prioritize you, probably juggles maybe other people or other priorities, or doesn't put you first. And with the mouse, it can often be about breadcrumbs, giving you very little so that you'll come back, maybe feeding on your fears so that you will come back. Things like, you can't do this without me, you can't ever make it without me, you need me in your life. These types of messages, even though they're toying with you with the Two of Pentacles, that's the energy that this is really giving me. And so I think that this is really showing what we've already said, that you're being dragged back in, but this is why you need this Emperor discipline. that it feels like is triggering right now. You don't feel super strong in order to have that discipline to just walk into this dark room because this person keeps pulling you back. We have success here. So I know that this person is successful in pulling you back into their energy. And so this is just another message of saying that's the environment around you. So it requires you. It requires your own strength, your own fortitude, your own courage to walk through that door anyway. So this is that message of the past I was talking about with the Empress and flow, that it feels to me like you have definitely experienced some kind of spiritual growth in your past. You may have asked the universe or your guides for help. You may have been praying or meditating, because I see some growth and I see that you have learned how to go with the flow. That you're saying, even if there is a tower, I am spiritually awakened enough with judgment to understand that there is a reason that this is happening to me. So you're very spiritually mature. You know not to fight against these things, no matter how difficult it may be. You've learned not to kick and fight and scream and punch against it. You're seeing your own value and you're realizing that this person who may be breadcrumbing or juggling or whatever this person in your energy is doing, you only know your story, but it's making you see yourself as more pure and more purified in this situation. So, but then we have this shadow side of you showing up as the hermit and anxiety. This is that fear we were already talking about. There is a shadow side of you that tends to retreat, maybe tends to avoid if things get hard. So for example, if this person is saying, well, you can never make it without me, you might believe them. You might say, I know, I can't do this by myself. And your anxiety might talk you out of it, and you might avoid with the hermit and maybe release those boundaries that you're meant to set up with this person. It feels like there's squishy boundaries with this person where you continue to let them back in because you're afraid of something. So whether that's letting them go, afraid of abandonment, if you're afraid of doing it on your own, if you're afraid of being alone, there's a fear here in your shadow side that's asking you to really respect yourself, take care of yourself, and set boundaries with this person, no matter how scary that might be. So then we have the Two of Pentacles and the Five of Swords. This is where your mind is right now. This is kind of what you're manifesting in. So if you're manifesting in a Two of Pentacles and a Five of Swords, it's because you're not clear. And we got that already, Aquarius. We are seeing you as going back and forth between wanting a new adventure, but being too afraid to go on that adventure. So if you're not clear with the universe of what you want, if you're putting out a Two of Pentacles and a Five of Swords into the universe, this is almost an idea of you're lying to yourself. You're saying to yourself, this person is enough, so that you don't have to face your fears. And so as long as you continue to manifest that in, that's exactly what you're going to get. And so I think there's another message here too of being careful not to stay in this energy of the Tower and this breadcrumbing and a lack of boundaries, because you're only going to manifest in more of that. And we know that you have done this spiritual graduation. You've already learned this lesson, so why learn it again? So this is just, again, this is very cautionary, Aquarius, to go through that door. Yes, I'm acknowledging that it's scary. We see the Hermit, we see anxiety, we see fear. This is very clearly telling me that this makes you scared. But this is also saying, but do it anyway. And do you want to know why? Because here's your potential final outcome. 10 of Cups and 6 of Pentacles. If you walk through this door, even though you don't know where you're going, and you release this person for good, you have Ace of Pentacles, Temperance, Peace, the Rose, which is tangible gifts. So sometimes in the form of money or people or something tangible, something earth-based, but also 10 of Cups and 6 of Pentacles. This is the ultimate happiness. This is getting what you deserve with the 6 of Pentacles, which is what we've been talking about. This person is giving you too little, let them go. Once you let them go, everything is going to just break wide open as far as all the good stuff that wants to come in. So I know it feels like you need a little more time to heal. It feels like you're progressing, but this is also saying don't take too much time. The Fool just leaps, but I see that. I see you. This is your near future, so I know you're headed in the right direction. Just take that leap, jump into this darkness, even though you don't know what it is, because the cards are saying that once you jump into that darkness, all of the good stuff is right there, right through that door, right through that threshold. So there you go, Aquarius. That is your reading. Will you please let me know how this was resonant for you? Consider subscribing to the channel if you like my vibe, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. Bye.